Neha Mahajan was born in India, moved to the United States 10 years ago.
I was born in India. I
Right.
was born and raised in New Delhi. My lifestyle was pretty similar to what I have right now here. My husband's a software developer. We were in the UK before coming to the US. We didn't come here looking for a job.
Right.
My husband's employer found his skill sets valuable enough. So he was just moved from India operations to
I understand.
US operations. Yes,
And they brought him here on an H-1B.
that's right.
What were the pros and cons of coming and not coming?
So the pros and cons were really more around what kind of job opportunities there are really for the two of us. One of the startling things were there weren't much information about the H4 visa holders available online back
Right.
then. There was a lot of information available on what you could do on an H1B visa, what the policies are like, but there wasn't much available on how the H4 visa restricts a spouse of H1B visa. Not every H1B visa holder's spouse gets the work
Correct.
authorization.
Correct.
It's only when you are legally on the path approved by Department of Labor and USCIS.
Right. You have an
to get a
you have an
green card.
I-140 approved, and you're on a waiting
Exactly.
list. Absolutely.
People were not willing to understand what H4 visa was, and they were like, oh, you speak good English and you have such good communication skills. How is it that you cannot get a job? And it was very hard for me to explain it to them that we came here legally and I cannot get a job.
Was there ever discussion about an intra-company transferee visa? Because then that would have given you a work permit right away.
These were the decisions that were made by the company.
Right. So you had
The
no right.
employees are typically not involved, as you would know. The employees are typically not involved in these decisions.
Correct. It's
We're
either
just
this is
told
this is
that-
your visa,
yeah.
this is what you get.
Exactly.
Right. And maybe perhaps if the employees who were getting the visa were able to speak up and ask questions, maybe in retrospect should have got an intra-company transferee visa, you would have got a work permit right away rather than suffering for
Absolutely.
7 years.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you why a lot of times they don't want to do the intra-company transferee visa. Because then you wouldn't be tied to them as long as you are on an H-1B and a labor
That's right.
cert. Because if you
So-
got transferred as a manager or as an executive, you can immediately turn around and self-petition yourself for your green cards.
That's right.
Versus
That's right.
on the H-1B doing a labor certification, waiting for that to go pending, and then on a long waiting list because the L1 visa puts you in the EB1 category,
Right.
and you're probably either
Right.
EB2 or EB3. I don't know what you are, but so on a much
I am
longer
on
waiting
an
list.
EB2,
Right. What I get a lot, and hopefully some people can take some knowledge from this, is that after somebody gets offered a job and the company says, okay, our company lawyer is going to do your H-1B or your L visa or whatever visa you may be doing, they then have a consultation with me individually and say, this is what the company is doing. Is this the right
Right.
visa for me? What questions should I be asking?
You have to keep renewing your visa.
And your
every 3
H-1B, right,
years.
right.
Exactly. Every 3 years until you really get the green card in hand, right?
What you should be doing is you should be going to your employer saying, we're going to move back and work, and I'm going to work remotely from London for a year.
A lot of
and
people
then,
are doing
and
that
then,
already.
And then bring me back as an intra-company transferee, not on an L visa, but directly as a green card and get your green card. Because
Right,
I don't know,
that
I don't
is
know,
easy.
I don't know why they did an H-1B, but I generally presume that people who can do L visas, who end up on H-1Bs, it's done because the company wants to hold you longer. Neha Mahajan, thank you very much.